Thank God for safety racks. Thank the flying spaghetti monster for safety racks. Seriously, a lot of people die from doing bench press. You either need a spotter or a couple of them, or you have to do it in a power rack and a setup like I have there. Anyway, so what I did there was 320 pounds with a slingshot. And what the slingshot does is a device that helps you to perfect your form and helps you to overload the movement, that helps you so you can get used to heavier weights. And I think it helps to, I think I get a little bit more tricep workout with it, because when you're down like this, it kind of helps you off with the bottom. And then at this point, you're using all triceps to lock it out. So that's why I use that. Every other time I bench press, I do that. And generally you could do, you could do about 38 more pounds using that. So that was about equivalent to about doing 280 pounds without it. And I love that thing. Mark Bell, hopefully, sponsor me. I love that. He's an inventor of that device. It was a little pricey. It's like $50 a thing. Anyways, so today's question is, do I take any supplements and what do I recommend? Well, the only thing I take in the last 10 years of eating a vegan diet is a little bit of B12, and here's what I take, or I used to take. Vitamin Shoppe's methylcobalamin, the liquid form. And the reason why I take this is it doesn't have any preservatives, and it only has 5 ingredients. It has vegetable glycerin, a little bit of water, citric acid, and vegan raspberry flavoring. I don't know if you guys know this, or I think most vegans know this, but the non-vegan raspberry flavor, the scent of it, I think it got from a beaver's butt. There's a gland in the beaver's butt, and somehow it smells like raspberries. And some guy out there is like, "Oh yeah, we'll put this for a flavoring agent." I don't know how that came about, but that's what they did. So, sad thing about this is that they stopped making it. Vitamin Shoppe stopped making this, and I actually called the company because I was really upset. I was just the day before of getting a methylmalonic acid test, which is what you want to get if you want to check your B12, making sure your B12 works. You can't just get a B12 test from, my doctor gave me just a regular B12 test that just checks someone's B12. You want to get your methylmalonic acid test, because that will tell you, if your B12 is actually working. So, and also, you could also get a homocysteine test, because if your B12 is not being used properly, this substance called homocysteine raises up in your blood, and you can get damage in your arteries. You can get brain damage, permanent brain damage, and there's a whole bunch of bad things that happens if you don't get enough B12 and it's not working properly. So that's, this is the reason why I take it. And I only take a very small dose. It's like 1/100th of a gram that I take. And so let me tell you this. I called the company at Vitamin Shoppe, and I was really upset. I was like, "Hey, dude, I love your product. It's the only one that doesn't really have a lot of preservatives out there. And so what happened? Why did you guys take it off the market?" So they told me, "We can't tell you." I'm like, "What do you mean you can't tell me? Did you change the label on it or something? You guys are bringing it back?" So that made me a little bit nervous, especially with vitamin companies, because they're not regulated. There could be lead and heavy metals in it. There could be it could even be some products don't even have what it claims to have in it. There was a big study where they found that half the supplements at Walmart didn't have the actual ingredient and what they said they would. And also, some supplement companies actually put a little bit of steroids. They put steroids in their products to make them effective. So you can't trust supplement companies. You really can't trust anything. You have to put the stuff to the test, and that's what I did. And actually, this stuff worked. It increased my, well, I wouldn't say increased because I don't know what I did before, which is really bad for me. But yeah, I had normal methylmalonic acid in my blood. So that's a good thing that I know this stuff works. So since I stopped making this for unknown reasons, I can't believe they couldn't tell me. I've been taking Now Foods B12, the methylmalonic acid, the methyl cobalamin version of it. And this one has, so I figured I'd try something else different. And this one has a coenzyme form with it, with a cyanocobalamin in it. I know a lot of people are kind of against cyanocobalamin because it's got a little bit of like a cyanide molecule that they pick up the B12 within, but it is a very small dose. That's what Dr. Reger uses. It's very cheap. The methyl cobalamin is actually a little bit more expensive. But, you know, I take this, I try to take it every day because I forget otherwise. For a while, I was just taking one a day. And, you know, a lot of people say, oh, this is just a vegan issue, and it's not. My mom, who eats meat, she was low in B12. So I know cats and dogs are coming down with B12 deficiencies. And, you know, I talk to vets and actually give B12 shots to cats. And the cats just eat meat. So don't think this is just a vegan issue. I think everybody should be taking B12 comes from a waste product of bacteria. And yeah, there's some people out there that say, you know, since you know, bacteria is so small and so light, it can actually, you know, bacteria can float in the air, and so can B12 because of the waste product of B12, and you can just breathe it in, and that's where you get your B12. And I don't know about that claim, but you know, a lot of people are coming down with B12. It could be an absorption issue. It could be a lot of different things. I made another video on this, and it's a very controversial subject. And I want to say, but you know, some vegans out there are like, oh, I don't take B12. I don't take B12. You know, you don't have to take B12. You know, I'm fine. Look at me. But then they won't get a blood test to verify that. You know, I'm like, you know, big claims require big evidence. So if you're going to claim something like that, you better have a blood test. Or, you know, you better have a blood test. That's all I got to say. You know, I want to believe you, and there's other doctors who promote a vegan diet that want to believe you too, like Dr. McDougall. He doesn't like the idea of promoting vitamin B12 supplements. But let me just restate that, you know, it comes from bacteria, and we live in such a sanitary world out there nowadays that, you know, we're not eating, you know, we're not drinking water that's contaminated with a whole bunch of bacteria. You know, we put chlorine in our water, and everything's really disinfected nowadays. And they used to say that you used to get it from bad or oral care from the bacteria that grows in your mouth, and then you'd swallow it, and you get the B12 that way. So, you know, I don't. You know, it's a cleanliness issue, and we're just very clean, which is a good thing. Anyway, so that's what I take. I take a little bit of B12. That's it. That's all I take. Another thing I think everybody should be paying attention to is getting enough vitamin D. I try to go outside every day for about 15 to 30 minutes every day to get my vitamin D in the summertime. It's very important. You need it for bone health, for muscles. You need it to prevent cancer. You need it for a lot of different things. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, don't get UV because UV is, there's a big study with, well, not a study, but there's some people who are saying that it's arsenic to your skin. It's a class 3 carcinogen. I'm like, well, you know, we've been dependent on sunlight forever. It is not arsenic to your skin. Doesn't make any sense. I made a whole another video talking about that. In the wintertime, I do use tanning bed to get my UVB light in that makes vitamin D. So that's what I do for that. And I think, but if you can't get that, I think you should take a vitamin D supplement. The only problem with that, just like I was talking about the vitamin B12 supplements, is that you don't know what's actually in this stuff. You have to verify it for yourself. Call the companies and ask them, what tests do they do to make sure this product is reliable. With Now Foods, which they make this in Illinois, about an hour or two by my house, they have a test where they verify there's actual B12 in it. But I am planning to get another B12 test done, a methylmalonic acid or homocysteine test, just to verify that this stuff works. Because the only person I really believe is myself and tests, and so do your best to put things to the test. Also, I want to say with vitamin D supplements is you don't know exactly how much you need day to day. So if you're going outside, getting a lot of sunshine, and then you're taking vitamin D supplements too, you could be overdosing on it, which I did find a study that's showing that it actually can decrease your health if you take too much vitamin D. People have come down with that they've overdosed on it, very high doses of it. So we don't know exactly how much our vitamin D is unless we get a test every single day. Now, when you go outside and get our vitamin D from the sunshine, the body makes exactly what it needs from the sunlight making vitamin D. So it's a guessing game when you're taking vitamin D supplements, and vitamin D builds up in your body, and it can be very toxic. So that but if you're living in Alaska for half the year where they don't even have sunlight, it's a good idea to take a little bit of vitamin D in a respectable level. And also for the people that say, well, your diet's just deficient in it. Well, actually, there isn't many foods that have vitamin D in it. It's in like fish liver or something like that. How many people really want to eat fish liver? Plus, fish liver has a bunch of different toxins stored in it, and a whole bunch of different things. It is found in eggs, but you would have to eat 12 egg yolks and risk getting a heart attack, eating that kind of stuff. Another thing I want to talk about vitamin D is that, sunlight, I mean to say that sunlight makes a whole bunch of different things in your body too. It's not just vitamin D. It decreases the blood, actually increases the blood flow in your body. So it's really good to go outside at least 10 to 15 minutes before you do crazy weightlifting stunt like I did. I walked for like 10-15 minutes before I did some weightlifting. So it's really good to get you pumped up. And also when you make vitamin D from sunlight, these breakdown products, if you make more vitamin D than what it needs, the sun breaks down vitamin D, and these breakdown products can be good for you. And UVA light, I know a lot of people are knocking that too, but actually that has some benefits as well. So don't knock the sun. The sun is very good for you. And we eat lots of, I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables that have natural sunblocks in them. Protects the plant. Lots of pigments like blueberries and grapes and things like that have pigments in it, that the pigments actually get stuck in your skin, on top of your skin, and prevent you from getting sunburnt. Well, to a degree. You can't just go out there for like 2 hours in the hottest part of the day and not get burnt. Now, I do think there is some supplements that some people might need in certain situations, in certain countries. For example, some soils are a little bit low in zinc and iodine. They might need to supplement their diet with iodine and zinc and things like that. But if you're living in a developed country, I don't think you have to really worry about that. That's a different topic for a different video. But I'm just saying the general view for everyone. I think they should be taking this, a little bit of B12, which I don't know if I said this already, but my mom, who eats meat, she had low B12. people want to claim, and also I just want to say it again. If you want to make some kind of claims that you get it from bacteria that's grown, that's on your produce in your garden, that's cool and everything, but you have to put it to the test. You gotta get a blood test. It's like me saying, oh, I can lift like 320 pounds with a slingshot. Never post a video on it. All right, you have to put it. You have to verify it. I am gonna be hopefully I'll get this done, but I want to post a whole bunch of different videos, everything I've tried over the years, and tell you guys and how I feel about them. Like one of the things I've tried was adaptogenic herbs, like ginseng and things like that. And I'm going to tell you guys my review using those things, and I've done it for a very long period of times. I think that's all I got for this video. Hope you guys found this informative. I'm having trouble, uploading videos every single day, or I'm even in every single month. It's just I've been really busy lately. So, when you want to hear more from me, definitely go to the Woodside Fruit Festival and the Costa Rican Fruit Festival, like I said in my last video, and I'll be there giving presentations and everything. I'm not going to be answering a lot of questions in the comments section. I'm going to try to make a video because a lot of people, they generally have about the same questions you do. So anyways, this is fruit straight, yeah, and red bananas. They almost have like a raspberry taste to them. They're so good. You should pick them up. 59 cents at Jewel if you live in the Chicagoland area. Good stuff. I'll see you guys later.